Boom! What's up, everybody? Yo, Animal 99, you ain't getting any sleep tonight? Sick. And Rachel, why are you saying oh no? I did see I did see this. I don't know if it's a Brazilian steakhouse specific thing, but I saw a funny clip of a guy dressing up his meat presentation in the back and the ceiling fell on him. I was thinking of you. Thank you for thinking of me, man. But yeah, like I wanted to talk about this because today, actually yesterday, it's 1 a.m. now. Historic day. I have been fired from my favorite Brazilian steakhouse brand up here in in Florida. But it's all good. It's all good. You could say I'm not the best employee. You can say that because I care too much. I pay attention to detail. I'm an honest person. All these things do not encompass the best employee. All right. So I wanted to break down why, what makes the best employee. And it's all dependent on the personality of the manager, right? The field you're in, what you're going for. Your scripture assembly, thank you for being here. Nothing really happened, actually. It's a lot of BS, but it's okay. You know, I'm not butthurt about it. Like it was somewhat inevitable. But anyways, so yeah, lost a job. Cool. Moving forward. Awesome. Yo, what's up, Elaine? I missed ya. Sorry for I haven't been streaming. I am not happy about Argentina going to the end of the World Cup there. I hope Spain wins. So screw Argentina. But anyways, everybody, thanks for being here. So, and you went to kindergarten in Sarasota, Florida? Damn. But anyways, like so, okay. What does it take to be a great employee? All right, again, depends on your boss. Depends on the manager. Most most managers are like this. They want you very submissive. So, first things first, you got the job. All right, you got the job. You're solid. You're going to make some money now. Awesome. First thing you got to do is you got to shut up. Whatever job you go to, you have to pretend like you're the dumbest person on earth, and whoever's training you is freaking the best thing since sliced bread. That's the first thing you gotta do. Play dumb. Doesn't matter if you got good ideas. Doesn't matter if you're already finding chinks in the armor of how this place could be better. You gotta be quiet and just learn the rules of engagement. You got to engage, see how other employees are, see how the boss is specifically, how he or she is treating other employees, if they're favoring some, what kind of behavior they are actually liking from their employees. Because regardless if they're the training, if they're the ones training you, the manager actually creates the culture. So if you see all the employees upset, crying, whatever, they're hating their life, they're gossiping, that comes down from management. You know, because attitude reflects leadership, right? If you see the employees happy and all that, it's also a reflection of management. So it's the good and the bad of management. Being a manager is very, very difficult, depending on the level, right? If it's like retail store to restaurant ownership to car dealership, all different levels, different intelligence that you are going to be dealing with. But you're an employee. Cool. You're an employee, and let's say you're being trained. Awesome. As soon as training is over, you've grinded through that. You're training. Now you got to read. You got a little bit of groundwork of who and how the manager is, right? So you start engaging the manager, seeing if like, okay, you realize you're nothing. You're like, he treats you the equal to everybody else. So there are a few different types of managers. I'll tell you how I was when I owned a store. When I was an owner, when I was a manager at GNC, when I was a manager / owner at Bricks and Minifigs. What else? What other positions? When I was lead in certain positions in restaurants, or I managed other, let's say, I had employees under me, but I wasn't an actual boss. Okay, so the way I went about things is I want all my employees to be at my same level. I don't care if I'm an owner or a manager. I want them to have the exact same knowledge I do to keep me accountable, and so that at some point I could promote them, and all of them are promotable, to the level I want them to be at. So that's very rare. That doesn't happen. Usually, when let's say you go ask your boss, you know, by the way, Elaine, on StreamYards, I could see you. Been watching your lives on other channels, no worries. And yet, F Argentina. For some reason, I think it's the F word or F Argentina. It doesn't show up on YouTube, but I can see it. Yeah. I was a car salesman, yes. I was many things. I worked construction. I was a car salesman. I worked in restaurants, worked in landscaping. I let's see, I worked at a gym. I did power washing and cleaning. I did mold work. I also helped people fill out green card applications. I taught English. I taught math in Mandarin. I've taught languages to people. I've done a lot of different jobs. I'm trying to remember all of them. But it's a lot. And there was definitely some jobs where I just stayed low level and jobs that I got promoted to management. And all of them, this is all like my experiences. And all of them, I understood why I wasn't promoted, why I either was fired, or why I stayed at a certain position, but I got paid more than a manager by being in a lower level position. So we're going to break all that down, okay? So my way of running things, my way of doing things is I never saw anybody as competition. I saw everybody as my equal. So that if I prop them up, if I know that I'm a human being and that I screw up, so if anybody else is at my level and they see me slacking off, they could call me out because I'm going to give them everything, right? And when I was at Bricks and Minifigs, pretty much my idea was I can run this Lego store and I want everybody to have my knowledge so that if they ever want to run a Lego store, I could just immediately recommend them. Pretty no-brainer. But most bosses are never going to give you that information. As in, hey man, if you're an employee and you go up to your boss, I want to know, I look up to you, I want to know everything you know, please teach me. They're going to be like, oh yeah, sure, but a lot of them are going to take that as a threat. Actually, most of them are going to take that as a threat. So they're going to look at you and being like, oh, this guy wants to move up. This guy might want to be taking my position. He or she might be one of my best workers. I'm going to use he because like I'm not going to keep playing the game back and forth. Right? So it's better for you not to ask your boss to teach you more than you already know. It's up to you to educate yourself because it's too dangerous for you to ask your boss to do that. They most likely will start seeing you as a threat and you'll eventually get fired. That is just how most people think because most people don't think beyond that position, beyond life after that. Right? They're not actually that ambitious. But for the ambitious ones out there that want to look for more than just regular employment status, you eventually want to move up to management, you eventually want to maybe even own your own thing, this is the game you got to play. All right? So, that is, if you ever find a boss in that rare occasion, doesn't matter what job it is, how much that job sucks, highly recommend you stay in that business for as long as possible because that person will be able to teach you everything there is to know of how they got to that level, and then when you understand how they got to that level, you can surpass that level, okay, by gaining more information later on. So if you do have a boss that was very open and just trying to train you to be the best of the best, every single detail beyond your job description, you got pretty much a gold mine opportunity of experience. But what are you usually going to run into? You're going to run into the guy that's very prideful, the woman that's very prideful in a management position. So they trained you. You're no longer a trainee. You're now a full-fledged employee. You're trying to gauge how they are, who they are. the first thing you don't do is trust them. You never do that. You trust them to do their job, and you kind of cover your own butt. Okay? Why I say that is because if you start to stick out, there's a few things that are going to happen. Other employees at your same level are going to start hating you, because that happens really, really often in any job. So there's one of the risk factors. The second one is if you start doing a better job than that manager can ever do, they are going to either utilize you so well that you can actually never move up. So it's a game you have to play where you can never be the best. Don't ever try to be the best if you want to be a great employee and move up, because it's a freaking game. I hate the political game, being employed to assistant to manager. I don't play that game. I'm just straightforward, and it's going to bite me in the butt, but I'm cool with it. Like, I'll figure it out. I wasn't made to be an employee. That's why I'm a crappy employee. But I know the game if I do want to move up. I know how to keep my mouth shut when I want to. So, anyways, if you become so valuable, like you could be so valuable that you can never move up because they want to utilize you in every single position that they can, or like your efficiency will help them to diminish payroll. It will help them to diminish cost, so they can rely on you. And it is almost a compliment where, like, I can rely on this person to always be the best of the best in this part, to always clean properly the shelves of the retail space, to greet the customers properly, all that stuff. And then they start thinking of you as, like, I can never show anybody else how good this guy is, but I can utilize him for everybody else to understand that that's the standard. And then I could have an army of perfect employees that are better than managers. And that is like the perfect scenario for a manager. And sometimes that does happen, and it's great. But then the manager their flaws start to show. And then that's when you see the manager start stealing your ideas. So that's the other thing of how to become a really good employee. You got to cover your butt in a way where, like, you express the ideas, and then the manager's going to take it, right? And present it to the owner, present it to the regional sales director, whoever's above them, right? And they're going to take that idea for themselves. What you got to do is you got to find a way to make sure that if you ever want to move up and you realize that that manager, that assistant is trying to keep you down, is that you do the best for that manager, but then when the person that can make a decision above them, they know that it was your ideas, that you did that work. So you have to find a way to get that message across without trying to show off and trying to belittle the manager, because whoever's above the manager, they trust the manager way more than you do. Actually, they don't trust you at all. They're completely connected to that manager, right? So if a regional sales director come in, they're not going to trust the employees if they talk bad about them, or even if they talk good about them. They're going to check the numbers, however politically inclined that manager or lady manager, whatever I don't know if there's another term for it. But they're going to be connected to that person and be more inclined to trust them. It just makes sense. They've been working with them a lot longer than you. They communicate with them way more than you. But you have to come across in a way where you're not showing off. You're not hurting the manager, but you're like, oh, yeah, me and the manager, we came up with, I thought about this idea. We implemented it here. He implemented it so great, and I'm just so glad that I can, make this a better spot. And then the guy's going to be like, oh, man, you're the one that came up with that idea? That was brilliant. Awesome. Let's talk. Like things like that are going to form naturally. And again, but that's when you get to the firing area, where eventually, if you don't move up fast enough, you're going to get fired. It's just inevitable with those kind of managers. It's a pretty simple thing. Take a break. Let me get to the chat. KPS Lucas, what up? And Battleborn Mama, it's always good to see you. Hello. And Animal, you are a mechanic, sir. I'm a mechanic with power tools. Once everyone trying to start buying power tools, I turn to hand tools. I slowed down. I can do better work slower than them, but still faster with them power tools. Excuse me. Thank you. You're saying everything the same as what I'm going through, Relic. Yeah, man, I gotta tell you, it is. Oh, That Porsche right there, that's nice. But yeah. And Elaine, being a good lab tech has screwed me over so many times. Lab director saw that I could manage the lab on my own, so to save money, I would be covering shifts by myself, doing the job of 2 to 3 techs. And that's when you have a little bit of leverage, but it depends. Again, you have to understand who you're dealing with, who your manager is. So in order for you to move up or get a raise, you have to present your work. Just show them everything you're doing, being like, hey, if you give me a raise here, I'm still doing the job of 3 lab techs, but I'm actually getting compensated, and I'll be very happy with this, and here's all the work I did. You have to find a way to show it to them, right? Without showing that you're trying to move up or get away from that manager specifically. And Dream Sigils coming in with the 5 deep wisdom. Thank you for saying it like it is. You're welcome. And unfortunately, this is the most common type of manager, is the one that feels threatened by really good work, because it isn't everybody in the world that's freaking incompetent. What's going on is people work really hard to become managers. Usually that's the case. Sometimes it's because they did sexual favors or whatnot. By the way, if you want to be the best employee, you're probably going to have to do some sexual favors. That's just to be the best of the best of the best. Don't do that. But anyways, so you the manager usually, let's say they work really hard to get in that position. Sometimes they lose themselves and forget what it was like to be a low-level employee, or they think that their best way of doing things when they were employee is the way everybody should do it always, and there's no wiggle room for personalities and things like that. That is a huge problem across all corporations throughout the world, across any job. It is annoying. But yo, random consumer, great message with the 10. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So I've already made more money now than I did at work yesterday. So anyways, so there could be many reasons why that manager feels threatened. They might be just a dick. They might be terrible. They might be worried about their numbers. They might be worried about losing the best employee. They might be worried about so much. So what you don't want to do is be their burden. Okay? But you will be their tool. Just like Elaine was saying with the lab tech doing 2 to 3 people's jobs. And it's important to show that you're grateful for doing that work. Because if you complain about doing 2 to 3 people's jobs, they will replace you. Because remember, a good boss will make everybody feel like this business can't run without them. That's what a good boss will do. But keep you humble as well. It's like, hey, look, if we lose you, it's going to be a blow. We'll eventually recover, but I don't want to go through that recovery. Like, I want you here always. Like, you are one of my favorite employees. You're a really great employee, a really great example for the team, and you boost up morale. Like, because of you, this runs so smoothly, and I really appreciate you. And usually they would give incentives, raises, or rewards or bonuses, all that stuff, right? And not a lot of people have actually experienced that, which is unfortunate, but that's just the truth. Bosses usually suck. Life sucks, then you die. There's your life lesson for the day. But anyways, so when you show that you're not a complainer, you also got to worry about when you're doing really good work that's starting to stand out. Again, that's another danger zone. So to stay put, do a decent job. Don't do a good job. Do decent. Just do above mediocre, slightly above like the standard, and you'll get recognized eventually, but you actually have to put that out there if you want to raise. Okay? Again, those who kiss butt, those who are going to play the political game, the flirting game, they're going to win. They're going to win for sure. So you got to understand what career you're in, where you're going to have to decide if it's worth trying to move up or not. All right? But you cannot be the best, and you cannot be the worst. You got to be just enough to not get fired, just enough to not get recognized, just enough to do your job, and that's it. Okay? but that can only last for a certain period of time. I would give it around 8 months. Now you have a reputation established. People at least know you, and they could trust you, and they don't believe that you're going to do anything more. You're just another employee. But what's in here? That's different. Because they don't know. They don't know what's going on here. They don't know about your plans. They don't know about your plans. All right. Some of the worst managers, Dream Sigils, since you're a member, let me highlight you. Some of the worst managers I've had never worked lower positioned and were hired at manager level, so they have no idea how to do the actual job. That's true. The nail that sticks out gets the hammer. That's a Japanese parable. Yes, but that's what nails are for, to get hammered. So just don't be a nail. You're not wrong, and it happens so often because usually they're looking for somebody who can manage the skills. That the manager generally, depending on the type of corporation they're working for, company they're working for, doesn't have to actually know how to do everything. They just have to understand it, right? But a good manager will understand that if there's a problem, those closest to the problem are probably closest to the solution. So they'll trust the employees. And that's a conversation for another day on how to be a great manager. But we're talking about how to keep your job. Because I'm not, and all the advice that I'm saying here or all the wisdom I'm imparting, I don't apply myself because I'm a terrible employee. I speak my mind. I say the truth. I don't hide. I confront. And I don't know, in Portuguese we say engolir sapo. I don't know how to swallow frogs. I'm really bad at that. So it's a term saying like sometimes you just gotta, take it in the chin and just keep walking. Turn the other cheek type stuff. I don't do that. I just go forward. And that's not good. That's not good because as a manager, you don't want, when you're screwing up, you don't want an employee to call you out. I'm not saying that I did call people out, but I was just like, yo, there's a better way of doing this. And don't do that. Don't ever do that. If you want to be a good employee, don't ever freaking do that. Okay? Because the other thing is when you start becoming really good and outspoken, then there's going to be other people that want, because you got to remember, everybody wants to get paid more. It don't matter. They want raises. They might not want responsibility. You might. But they see that whatever they're working at as like their only way to make it, right? Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. So they'll kill, lie, cheat, steal to get to the top. And those are the people you have to watch out for because they're going to try to have conversations more with the managers. They're the ones that are going to try to stand out to the managers more. They already know how to play the game. They're going to keep quiet with the other employees around them so that they don't get singled out. And then the manager's supposed to be observant, and then they're going to become their assistant. They're going to become manager of another store, whatever it is that they decide to do. And then if that person's becomes above you, they're going to make up lies about you. They're going to do things to you. They're going to utilize you, and it's going to be a problem. So even if you believe that they're your friend, they are not. Because as soon as you start showing them up, you do better than what they were doing, and they got promoted, they see that you're going to get promoted eventually. And remember, this is no longer a manager. This is a person that just moved up. So how they play their game is by weeding out anybody who has potential, a.k.a. you. So if you got potential, they're going to weed you out. They're going to become your friend. And then behind your back, they're going to start implementing little gossip here and there. Nothing egregious, but then it's going to build up because these people are snakes. So in front of you, they're going to say nice things. And then they might say some things that they can totally deny because they're already bad-mouthing you. So what doesn't matter what they say, they're going to have the ears of the people above you because those people above you promoted them and they trust them. And a good manager will investigate. Bad manager will just get rid of you and not give a damn because they trust this person, which is just a bad overall tactic because then you eventually will lose your staff. You're going to lose the people you trust the most. and who trusted you, but because you're betraying that trust, you'll eventually get screwed. It happens all the time to managers. But in order for you to keep your job, you got to stay away from practically everybody that you work with. You're going to have your work buddy. You might have somebody that you truly, truly trust. But again, you got to watch them. It's a game. Moving up is a game. And it's a crappy game to play. And remember, it depends on the manager. If you have a manager, like I said, like I was, where I try to give you all the information, I was honest, I heard you out, try to make sure that you had more knowledge than even me, then you have way more room to play because it's no longer a game. There's just going to be honesty. When the game is being played, you're going to see people are going to be dishonest so that they don't get in trouble because they know if they're honest and they made a mistake, it's a problem and they'll just get rid of you because mistakes are supposed to be made. We're human. And a good boss will understand that and just try to help you to not make those same mistakes again. If you keep making the same mistake, then you're no longer a good employee, you're a bad employee, and then now you're a liability, which they got to get rid of you. Pretty simple stuff. And Dragon's Gaming, what's up? Every job I've had, I have made management, but sometimes I realize it's better not to be management. Amen, brother. I realize it's better, so I have found it better just to go do the job and go home. But know your value. 100%. And Animal says, I hope this thing blows up for you. You did say you had things in the works with your dad, though. Yeah, the things I have in the works with my dad, I'm going to need around $6 million for. So, yeah, we're looking for investors right now. We've been looking for a while, but it's a whole other thing that we got to figure out. And obviously, best case scenario is if we were able to obtain or earn $6 million without getting an investor, so that it could just be our thing. And if we fail, it's on us. Less pressure, but more pressure at the same time. But we have more room to think, where we don't got somebody breathing down our necks, which is just fine. So, all right, that is the most common scenario. The other scenario is you've already have experience in that field and you come in to assist. Okay, let's say you had a job like when I worked at GNC. Let's say you've been going to the gym, you used to be a personal trainer, you know about supplements, you know about nutrition, and now you got a job managing a GNC. It's your first time really in sales, all that stuff. So you learn sales. Cool. You already got an added trust because you're fit, you're healthy, and you know how to do sales. Boom. Awesome. The problem with that is that since you came to assist, you're going to be utilized quite a bit because you already have experience. So you have to understand what your level is. You cannot be entitled. Okay, because remember, management in certain positions is just another employee with responsibilities. Like if you manage a restaurant, you're big boy time. That's a whole different game. You're making probably above six figures. Okay, or you're making probably six figures. No, my bad. Yeah, 100,000 a year plus. Yeah, probably to a nicer restaurant. Okay, not really a McDonald's. You're probably gonna make like 30 an hour. Yo, what's up? Yo, Gabe. Hope you and chat are well. We are well. All right. So, and remember, don't think that being your own boss is like the way to go, because that's a much harder life. You have your freedom, but you are doing everything. Okay? You're the accountant, you're the landlord, you're the landowner, you're the lawyer, you're the boss, you're the employee, you're the manager, you're the president, you're the CFO, COO, you're all of it. So, if you are your own boss, now you went from a 9 to 5 to a 9 to 8 a.m. All right, that's your life. So, when you are being utilized through your experience, you have to realize that you're at one level and everybody else is above you. That way, you also still have to keep quiet, even though you have much more experience, and you might even have more experience than the people around you that are slightly above you, right? That's the most dangerous form of being an employee, because you most likely will be used and abused and rode hard and be put away wet and you're gonna get fired eventually. There's no way getting around that. You got experience in a field that is above your managers. You will eventually get fired. Okay, because that's not how you play the game. You got to show, even if you have more experience than everybody else, you got to pretend like you have just enough experience. And then you have to gain the trust of the people that can truly promote you, and then implement your ideas. Okay? That's the worst level of employment, is when you know more than anybody. Because it's not a prideful thing, it's not an ego thing. It's just you see everything like you are an owner, like you are head honcho, but you're not. And that's really, really hard to pull back. Right? So, I want to hear from you guys in the chat. What are some of the worst manager experiences you guys had? Because I know everybody's had some. I know, not had some, but had some bad managers. I know it. Because I've had some garbage managers, man. I've had some terrible managers. But I am happy to say that I've had 9 different employees tell me that I was one of the best bosses they ever had. And it was awesome. I'll tell you about like how I got fired at GNC, right? So I worked at GNC. I was a manager. I got fired. So my wife is the one that found out that my new boss, the new RSD that came in, she had it out for me. Her name is Rachel. She's a stupid whore. She had it out for me. She tried to write me up in 3 minutes of meeting me because I guess my shoelace wasn't tied or something. And it was pathetic. I'm like, I'm not signing anything because that's ridiculous. And she apparently posted my job on Indeed like the day she met me. It took her a month to fire me because I did nothing. I never did anything wrong. She decided to fire me because Sunday was a half day at the store, and one of my employees, she got into a car accident on the way to work, and she couldn't come in. And then I found out like an hour before the store's supposed to close at the mall. So this store was closed that day. So I show up the next morning. She's there, makes me hand her the keys, and fires me. Boom. That's that. One of the reasons being is that she felt threatened because her boss, we were kind of in talks so I could be an RSD. And I wasn't even going to get her territory. It was insane. But yeah, she sucks. She sucks. So, and she was fat working for GNC. So, F her, right? Like, who are you going to trust a fat chick to be like, this is how you should lose weight? Eating Cheerios and freaking nutmeg and having a cheesecake before bed every night, like she does. So that's how I got fired from GNC. So sometimes people, that's the other thing. Regardless, if you have a manager, people are gonna screw you. If you don't control it 100%, you are always susceptible to unemployment, and that's gonna be a fun day. So that's how I got fired from having one of the worst bosses. And every time I either leave a job or I actually get fired, which I've only been fired, I guess this is my 3rd time ever in my life getting fired. But the GNC one was the 2nd time, I believe. So the GNC one was like, I always evaluate myself. I always like do like an inventory of everything I did wrong, what I could have done, what's the hindsight of how I could have prevented this, right? So with her, there was literally nothing I could do. It's she saw my face and didn't like it, and then that's that. And that's over. So some people are just not gonna like you. It doesn't matter what you do. You can even blow them, and they're not gonna like you. That's just life. But yeah. Yo, Gabe. Okay, Sean pays attention. Sean, I'm a boss and still feel low level. Being above others doesn't mean superior. Exactly. Lots of people miss that level of being humble. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Like my man, you keep it clean, but ride the line when you're on EBN. And to be honest, you like to push them for reactions. I enjoy it. Do I? I don't think I'm keeping it clean. I'm just like in the flow in my head. I say retarded and gay and stuff still on my channel. Like, what am I doing wrong? You should see some of my previous, like the earliest streams, I said some things that is not friendly to YouTube. Sean is, and I flow better with people where I can like talk, like, cause I can rip on them, and cause they're friends. We're all friends, so like I have fun. Like, and I tell them, like, if I ever like seem like I'm crossing the line, you pull me back. And I don't think I've ever said something on somebody else's channel that would hurt them. But yeah, it is not what Crystal did. Lay low, get promoted. When chance prompted, she bought the band franchise in Kaiser Salem. I don't know if that is what she did, because they could have, in Bricks and Minifigs, the McNeffs could have, and this is just a theory, just try to look for someone to use as a scapegoat to do all this bullcrap to, right? I think regardless of any criticisms, Crystal did a good job overall. People loved her, but I have no idea how Ammon and Matt looked at her to promote her. I would have, and I would have actually trained her in my way, and they didn't even train her. You know what I mean? So yeah. Thank Camelot for that animal. Like what Gabe does though. Keep finding the good viper. Oh, thank you. Gross nasty. Yeah, GNC is gross nasty. Bosses don't like me because I know my value. It's not like I won't do my work accordingly, but I'm not one to put up with BS, so I have no fear of walking out. I always have a fallback. I don't have a fallback, bro. I do not. Thank you. Based Gabe is based. Thank you, Sean Games. Hell yeah. I know it may sound crazy, but I've never been fired, but I have been taken advantage. I'll tell you, every time I've been fired, it's going to be fun. Relic is nasty. You say crap we are all thinking, but you've got comfortable and keep the other hosts laughing. Yeah, I'm always comfortable, man. You can't, like, for instance, I was fired from my job today, right? It sucks. I got 3 kids to feed. I made like $200 this week. And, you know, like I allowed myself to freak out for an hour. I went on a run, boxed a tree, and then went for a drive. Right? So, like, again, it's so funny because it was this time, like I keep pointing out, it was this time last year where I got the phone call that I owed $500,000 to the landlord because they left me with the lease, right? So that sucks. But you gotta just move on. You gotta go find solutions. If you keep worrying and complaining, you're just not doing anything. You're just making it worse. You're just making it take longer for you to find a solution. Okay? But before I get into that firing, which is interesting, I'll tell you about the first time I got fired, which I think was at Specialized Sales and Leasing. Overall, it was like, the other employees don't really know this, but the manager may or may not have asked me to do something that I was not comfortable with. I thought seemed dishonest, and wanted to use me as a scapegoat for something so trivial. Like there was a key locked in the car. He called a locksmith. I showed him the car because he asked me to show them the car. They got the key out and they charged him whatever. And he thought it was too expensive, and then he said he was going to take it out of my paycheck. And I was like, that's not cool. I'm not cool with that. Like, what the freak? You told me to handle it. And then they were like, no, you're going to do it. And I'm like, no, and I'm not doing this other thing. It's like, why not? Because I don't sell my name, and that's the only thing I got. It's like, well, you could get your name and get out. So then I left. And I got a job immediately at my uncle's restaurant for like $7.25 an hour. And then I got a job driving for Lyft, the gym, and then eventually I went to Texas Brazil. So, yeah, that freaking sucked. And then I just told you guys about the GNC, and then today, I got fired today. I was at the parking lot of work, and I received a text, and that's how I got fired. They're like, oh, Monday you took a 30-minute phone call on shift, which I explained because it was a personal emergency, and, you know, I picked up the phone, and I even told them I apologize to almost every single employee I was working with, including this current supervisor. But I guess that meant nothing to the current manager. And then then like 2 days ago on Thursday, apparently I was complaining, which I didn't see as a complaint. I just didn't want to share tips with a guy who's gonna do nothing. And then yesterday, I had a slight stomach bug, so I took a 20-minute dump of diarrhea, and that wasn't cool with the manager, even though I explained it to his underling. And then that underling created a bunch of lies that the manager believed over me, and I told him to investigate because there's cameras, and he said no. And I was like, okay. So, but overall, I think we left on good terms. I don't hate him for it. I just think he's trusting the wrong people, as he did before. But it is what it is. Like, I can't control. I probably could have been more diplomatic, but I'm not a politician. I'm not gonna shake your hand and not point out that you farted. I'm gonna point that out. That's crazy. But yeah. Dream sigils. I was working at Starbucks and the store manager left mid-shift. I got instantly promoted and found out he never ordered inventory the week before. Bunch of coworkers quit and regional barely helped. Hey, and that's another way to get promoted. Just have everybody else pissed off other than you. Not that you did that, but that sucks. You speak the way I do. I grew up with certain words not being policed, and I hate that everyone gets their panties in a twist and tries to give those words an extremely offensive meaning. Yeah, F those douchebags. Like, anybody who speaks more than 2 languages. This is something that I found out way early on when I learned my 3rd language, which is English, right? And even after I learned Haitian and Mandarin, the less languages you know, the more sensitive you are, because you don't have a knowledge that actually encompasses all the words or offensive words that you've heard in your life, and you start realizing that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words actually don't matter. The meaning from the heart is what matters. If I called you if I looked at you and I'm like, you dick, or then I greeted you and I'm like, what's up, dick? One's friendly and one ain't. Same word. Ta-da! Learn languages, people. You'll be better off for it. How corporate and bam did you, bro? I mean, I came. I've been there on a lower level, but I never understand why they do that to loyal people. What do you mean you came, dude? No more Brazilian stakeout. No point me coming to Florida now. Hey, spirit warrior. That is what I'm working on, bro. There will be a Brazilian steakhouse, and I will be a part of it. Don't you fret. Come to Florida, bro. I believe in you. I know you told your wife she'll never have to worry. You'll find a way. That's the other thing. Got to keep those promises. I worked an 18-hour shift, mostly solo, because otherwise the store would have closed. But that was too many hours in a row. So even though I was doing everything I could, I got sent home for the week. That sucks. She was in retail business, good at customer service. I'm talking about Crystal, right? She did good as a manager. Ammon gave her opportunity as future franchisee. Crystal almost saw the end of her contract, and that's when Ammon screwed her. Yeah, I know the process. I just wonder the intentions of Ammon, and I don't doubt she was great at her job, and it made sense to promote her. But I'm just saying Ammon probably had other nefarious reasons. Okay, knowing she made the consignment with Brian, yes, Ammon knew long before the consignment. He approved it too. He had now ample reasons to screw her now. Yeah. Man, they asked you back, Dream Sigils? Then they had stood up for me. I helped all my staff with their resumes so we could all move on for good. That is awesome. Hell no, they cut you to 2-hour shifts and a 30-minute phone call across the line. Yeah. Not only that, dude, there's been people that were caught doing drugs in certain places of business. I'm not saying it's this previous one. And they still work there. So that's crazy. So, Gabe, want to start a business? LOL, let's go. I speak 5 very poorly. It's all right. I speak all 5 very poorly. I was actually offered to sort of There was one in passing, but there was one guy that was pretty serious. He said that he would be an investor and I can open a Lego store again. I turned it down, but now it's looking a little more enticing. I just, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of freaking work, and I have to prop up the brand. If I had a partner that I would run the store, train the employees, handle all of that, and they would handle the marketing and getting people through the door, I'd probably be okay with it. I'd probably open another Lego store or a toy store or something. But no. Took a job, went in for the rundown. They gave me a tour of the restaurant I would be running as a manager. 30 seconds later, I walked out, told them I could not do that because I didn't agree. Then I left. What? What restaurant? Told you Relic is nasty. Yes, I am, dude. Can. Oh. I'm not trying to be nasty. I read word for word what Sean Games Drunk said. I was store owner in 2000. Rented the store, not in Legos, but food sector. Nice. I feel for your stories. As a store owner, I recognize everyone say, and I knew Ammon is an a-hole. Hearing him talk, a liar. Yes. For Bam, JK won't put up with that crap. I have standards. So, funny joke, Dragon. Anytime we stopped carrying item, because I was like, we're not selling this. That employee I did the interview with, Devin, he would be like, welcome to Bricks and Minifigs. Our standards are lower. Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, anyways, that is how you become the perfect employee. Be mediocre. All right? Mediocre doesn't mean bad. It just means not good. Don't be a good employee. Be mediocre. Be good enough. Don't try too hard. Because remember, you might care about them. They don't care about you. Another, lay low. Do not, and I repeat, do not stick out. All right? Find out who are the snakes. Find out what the personality of the manager is like. And see how you must navigate these pathetic bastards. And you'll eventually move up or get a raise. And you'll be all right. But overall, all you need is to gain as much experience. Some people, they'll go from job to job to job because they're trying to find the perfect manager. I'll tell you what. When I went to go work I was working at Toyota at the time. When I went to go work for Specialized Sales and Leasing, which sold high-end cars, sports cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, you name it. When I went to go work for them, I knocked on the door every day for a month because I wanted to work there. The reason being is because I knew if I worked there, I could. At the time, my brother had his own business, and I didn't like his business partners. They were very rich, but they were douchey. And I figured if I can't find the rich person that could teach me about finance and financial stability and financial success, then instead of me going out look for them, why don't they just come to me? Where can I go? At least if I worked at a dealership with high-end cars, we had something in common already. So then I could weed out, because I'm going to see somebody every day that is going to be able to afford a $300,000 car. So then I could weed out those who are douches, open strip clubs and stuff to get this kind of money, or those who were honest business owners and did the right thing to get that kind of money. And then from that pool of people that were honest, I can pick and choose those who align with my principles more, because you're never going to find somebody that aligns completely with your principles. Even if you're part of the same religion, you're just not going to. But I found those who I can encaixar, mesh together the most with, and I picked their brain. Because then it's an actual path I could follow. So that's what I did when I was 21, 22. And that's how I got most of my knowledge in terms of being ambitious. Most of my knowledge in terms of financing was from my dad, because he was the CFO of the restaurant I just got fired from. Good stuff. I toss pizza for a living right now. Animal. I've done service industry my whole life though. I hate it and love it at the same time. Yeah, it's just like sales. You're gonna hate it and love it, just like sales. So that's the other thing. Like it's not. This is just so that you can understand to be an employee and move up and gain knowledge. This was not this stream. Like I just kind of wanted to put that out there because I feel like everybody who goes into the workforce, they have this kind of strange mentality of how it should be, and nobody preps them to be like, hey, you're gonna have to shut up, you're going to have to, suck these people off from time to time, you're going to have to just keep your head down, lay low, not worry about it, not think about it, let the chips fall where they may. You're gonna see, like, it's like you see that the gasoline is close to the matches, but if you point that out, somebody's gonna yell at you and you might lose your job. So you just have to see the building go up in flames. That's unfortunately what you gotta do. That's how you be a good employee. Let it burn. Just let it burn. Best advice I could give you. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, and don't try to reattach the wheel either. The wheel's gonna fall off. And let management handle that. Don't worry about it. And if you like are gonna worry about it, just shut up. Just keep the worry inside. I don't get paid to blow sunshine up people's butt. You think? Yes. What you is true. Worked in retail accounting, the store owner, then back as worker. B, you gain experience and you see people's heart, personality, and BS. It's like high school, but adult version, and it sucks. I think I'm going to call it a night. It has been a long week, and it's catching up with me. Hey, Spirit Warrior, I thank you for being here. Everybody say goodbye to Spirit Warrior. One of the faithful ones. But no, seriously, thank you for being here. Like I know it's super late, but I'm like kind of wired a little bit just because, when you lose your job and you got 3 kids to feed, you're not going to sleep well. So I was planning on actually doing a gaming stream, but I was too lazy to hook up an Xbox and then go get my Halo CE because the new Halo game is coming out next week and it's probably going to suck. Actually, not next week. Today's the 18th, so like 10 days from now. Oh, it's the 19th. Ooh. Oh, shoot. It was my parents' wedding anniversary. I have to call them. I'll talk to them tomorrow. I'm going over their house tomorrow. Yeah. Rest well, brother. But yeah. Work sucks, but when you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. And I've done so much jobs, even acted in movies. But with me, when you do what you do, you love it, it will pan out. Until it don't, man. You might have heard of a little story about how I owned a Lego store. And I did what I loved and it was making money. And then I got screwed. Some people just get screwed, man. Sometimes it's just and that's the other thing. Like if anybody loses their job or gets screwed over, sometimes, not all the time, it's always the most important thing is to self-reflect, see where you screwed up, and look inwards and try to correct it, right? And no, don't try to correct. Actually correct it. Go better yourself, right? But every once in a while, sometimes it's just your time to go through a storm. And that's it. There's no explanation. You might have done everything right. You might have done at least most of everything right. You might have, crossed your T's, dot your I's, all that. But, rain's in your parade. You couldn't predict that weather. It's your time to suffer a little bit, to go through some pain. And then after that pain is where you'll come out stronger. And that's up to you. You'll either come out weaker or stronger, but it's still a decision you got to make. You could either complain and blame everybody else or it's one of the reasons why I love that book of Jocko Willink, Extreme Ownership, because even if it's not your fault, just make it your fault. I'm not saying that that's exactly what it says, but it's extreme ownership. Like you got to own it 100% so that you could do something about it. So it's out of your control. Good. Make it in your control. Simple. What is your year of birth? You want my social too? I'm not really that old. Your answer will probably make me feel old. I was born in the 90s. How's that? I'll give you that. What were we born? 85? I was born in the night. It's freaking nasty. Like always comes out of the corner with this motivational speeches. Yeah, I kind of do a little uppercut, a little hook. Boom. Same for me working. Like, am I really that nasty, bro? Maybe it's just like it's just late and I'm because this is how I think of like most managers is that they just want to get freaking their dingleberries played with, and that's the only way to please them. You can't work hard. You're gonna have to do some stuff. Last four, yes, last four of your social security and mother's maiden name, please. Okay, I'll also send you a picture of. Never mind. Try not to be nasty for you. I know you're sensitive, animal. I know you're sensitive. Game Exchange? Dude, you worked at Game Exchange? Video game market still did dirty. They went south though, so that was nice. Dude, Game Exchange doesn't even exist. Does it exist where you live? Because I haven't seen one since I was like 11. Damn. This is no good. But okay. I guess we could talk a little bit about how to be a good manager. I can't even type you could. Like, okay, this is how you become a good manager, okay? The first step is being humble. Great, you worked hard to be a manager, but the first step is being humble. Because you got to realize that every year, now that you're no longer in the front lines, you can't see with a clear vision. It's like having eagle eye. You can see everything, but not the details. But you can you're the one that makes the game plan. Then you got your soldiers that are able to inform you of certain details that you might have missed out that can modify your game plan, right? So when the low-level employees, they are usually close to the problem. But they still got a brain, usually. At least two of them will have one. That means they've also come up with ideas to provide you a solution. So that's the first step, is understanding how to delegate and listen, because you are going to get a lot of crappy ideas, but you're going to get some good ones every now and then, and you could apply that to your place of business, right? The other thing is making sure that the employees doesn't feel like everything is random. That goes down to their schedule. It goes up to how they're trained and how they flow at work, right? So if it's possible, you're a manager, you're a track of the schedule, try to make sure everybody has the same schedule every week. Like if this guy works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, make sure that never changes unless a big week is coming up, and then you inform them. Okay? Don't keep switching them around, because then they can have more control of their life. They know what to expect. They know when they're going to go into work. They barely even have to check the schedule. They're going to, but they barely have to. That's one of the ways you can ensure that the employees are going to have a good time. The other thing is, it doesn't matter if an employee leaves and the business continues. You got to make every employee feel like they have some sort of importance and that they have your respect. Okay? Very hard to navigate. The other thing is smiling. You got to smile. You got to have a good attitude. You got to make sure your temper is intact. You never lash out unless it's like truly worth it and it made sense for you to lash out. Like, you would look like a freak if you didn't lash out. It has to be that level, right? And it all comes down with attitude. Your whole attitude is how you become a really good manager. Every day. Like I always said to my employees, I use the extreme example. If your mother died and you come into work, then that means your mother's alive. You have to pretend your mom's alive, because you decide to come into work. I expect you to call in and take a month off if that happens. But if you're like, I'm good, I'm coming to work, you don't get to be sad. You get to smile. You get to tell jokes. You get to be happy, friendly, customer service kind of guy. And then after the shift, go cry and do whatever you want. But smiling is part of the uniform. Same with managers. Managers get to manage. You micromanage the details so that everything flows together. You don't micromanage the people. It's different. We are live, Justice. Justice for Heroin Bird. I love how you guys keep changing your names. This is awesome. But yeah, for Heroin Bird. So the Elvis autocorrect is cracking me up. What? Elvio? Damn. I'm trying to say you turn it crazy, and I would as well. Our brains mesh. Also, I have a child that was born in the 90s. He already served 4 years in the USMC and got out. He'll be 30 next year. I am only slightly older than your child, animal. 31. But my oldest is 6 years old. 7? 6? 7? One of those. Yeah, but yeah. Like, and that's something interesting that I realize Americans are really attached to age. Like, you guys are very much, you guys care about age so much, even more than Asians. Because in Brazil, and actually a lot of Latino cultures, like, it's just about if our personalities like actually mix. That's it. So like by the time you're an adult, like you might be 20 years old and you have a friend that's like 39. You know, you might be an adult that's you're 40 and one of your best friends is like 63. You know, that's just, I don't know, that's pretty normal. But America, you guys get obsessed over little things. But you're welcome here. You're all welcome here. I don't have quinceañeras, dude. We have food and parties, and that's it. I guess we kind of do have a quinceañera, but we don't have like a name for it. As far as I can remember, you just turn 16 and you're a lady, I guess. Yeah, but that's how you become a good manager. The best manager, you're going to make sure your whole team is just full of managers. Like, when I was at GNC, I had almost every one of my employees became a manager. Almost. And they all became some of the highest salesmen of that district. And I have the numbers to prove it. I still have it today. It's actually those are some of the numbers I used to prove to Bricks and Minifigs that I knew what I was doing. I sent them those numbers, showed them how, like, our sales, and yeah, it's like one of the guys that you guys probably see on the Daily Drive, Bachishinha Daily, which I think he might be changing his name soon, of the YouTube on Wednesday nights, the Daily Drive. I got him a job as an employee of mine at GNC, and then I trained him to be a manager, and he was also one of the top salesmen. Because I know how to freaking train. I'm not 60 here, I'm 45. Do the math. Oh, man, you are pumping at 14, though? Man, my man pumping. I never said you were 60. I'm just saying. Differences. Man, wait. If they're 30 and you're 40, yeah. You're pumping at 14. Oh, man. Where are you from? Gotta be like Louisiana. Something like that. Definitely. Maybe Detroit. Hey, man. Hey. I'm just saying. I'm just reviewing the evidence. I'm pointing out the facts. New Orleans. Oh, from Montana? Is that what MO means? Is that what MO means? Yeah. What's next for me? What's next for me? Okay. Um, that's a difficult question. I'm just looking for a job. Like, I did the math. Apparently, this is the math on YouTube. If you put out, let's say, a video of 15 minutes and you get around close to 1 million views, you can make anywhere from $3,500 to $7,000 that month off that one video. Obviously, that's a viral video, blah, 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 blah. Or you get that many views in a month throughout many videos, you can make around that much money. Cool. I can't really bank on that, so YouTube has to be side money. You guys understand? So, like, I'm still going to do a lot of content, but what I plan on doing is just getting another job. I'll immediately after my little run and stuff, I applied to Walmart, I applied to Target, applied to Crunch Fitness, applied to whatever I can. It doesn't matter. Like, I applied to some management jobs, applied to low level jobs. Like, if it's just honest work, I'll do it. I don't care. I just need to make sure I get money and pay. But what I really want to do, what is next for me, is obviously grow YouTube and open up the business with my father. The best case scenario right now is if I was able to find an investor now, get the cushion I need. My father and I both need to, because he has his own business, but in order for him to kind of like stop with that business and for us to go after what we want to go after, then we need to get a cushion of like $10,000 a month. So, and that would probably be for like 2 years. So overall, it would be like a $400,000 cushion from the investor, right? Because that's how it works when you're the ones that are gonna find the real estate, build it up, and get all the permits, get everything organized. So it's part of the investment. A cushion is part of the investment. But hey, Dream Sigil's coming in clutch, 24/7 nerd chat streams, please. You want to talk nerd? You want to talk nerd? I want to talk nerd all the time. Okay, here's my personal question. Do you get paid off going live on YouTube? No. No. So super chats, like the one I just read, you get 70% of that. And then like on all my descriptions, I have Streamlabs. So that's 100% if somebody donates on Streamlabs. I don't know how to pin it here, but I'm also grateful for the super chats. And then when it turns into a VOD, if other people gravitate to it, I think watching ads while live kind of helps if there are ads. And then watching ads definitely when it becomes a video. That helps. So that's how you get paid. Making videos is the best way to do it because it's already filmed, and that's what YouTube likes to promote. They don't like to promote live streams. They have some of the best live streaming platform and like no bots and stuff like that. They do really good work, better than Twitch and Kick. But yeah, you have to. They don't really care for live streaming. But yeah, you're not American, born in Suriname, South America. Now I live in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. What are you doing there? You're an AFO. All right. But stopped buying Legos for 4 years. Then I saw the Dandelion Buttercup Lego Polybag. Did you get it? Wasn't the Polybag free? Wasn't it free? Merch. Want to mod me? I can add links, commands, etc. Not hard, but if you need someone. Thank you. Cody ruined my autocorrect? Cody as in Camelot? Send me, like, I don't know the whole mod game, whatever that's supposed to do, but I need to ask more. Echo Base Network's the ones that are helping me out a lot. So is Toy Bounty Hunters. They've been giving me the ins and outs. So, yeah, whatever you do next with another 10, thank you. I really appreciate you, Dream Sigils. Thank you. Whatever you do next, just know that you have a bunch of weirdos on the internet that believe in you. Yeah. Yes. Well, okay. What I'm gonna do next? Uh, I'll just say my dad probably won't be super happy with it, but whatever. We want to open a Rodizio grill. Okay, we've been working on it. We've talked to the owners already. And there's another franchise. Don't worry. My father was a CFO for 21 years. We know the contracts. Just because Bricks and Minifix screwed me over doesn't mean I'm not gonna give up on franchises altogether. Like the owner went to my wedding. Everybody in corporate went to my wedding. Like these people I've known since I was a kid. But also, I worked there 10 years ago. I work there now. Quit twice. Got fired today, which my father doesn't know about. He'll figure that out tomorrow. Which I probably can't. I'll probably have to tell him to not tell my mom because she just got out of the emergency room 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever that was. But yeah, like we're gonna open a Brazilian steakhouse. He's again was a CFO for 21 years. We both know the ins and outs. So like it's true what you hear in business that the riskiest business venture is opening your own restaurant. That is insane. Like it has the highest rate of failure. But what you don't see is that is with a new restaurant, a new name. When it's franchise, it's very different. The rate of success is so much higher, and it's even higher than some businesses that you'd be surprised with, including gas stations. So that's why, and if my father wasn't part of it, I would not feel confident in it, because man, he knows his stuff. But one of the reasons he never opened his own is because he's always been a very calculated guy, and he's always worried about the risk. And like I said, one of my goals is to buy my father a Ferrari, but I also know that he's a guy that he needs to earn it. You know, he won't feel comfortable drive. He'll drive it, but he won't feel comfortable driving it like he earned it. You know what I mean? So, I want to give him that gift, and that's my dream. And then drive my own Ferrari. That'd be a sweet dream. So, yeah, it's around anywhere from 6 to 10 million the investment to open up that kind of restaurant, because you should be feeding over 100,000 people a year, right? Which at least you could make like 10 million a year easy. But that's if you want to buy the land. Now we could do it, I think, under 4.2 million, if my math is right. If we got a lease, and if that lease was a really good spot, yeah, and it was already built. But that's it's a lot of complication. But yeah, gotta find somebody with the dough. We found a few people, but a lot of them want to buy their own land and own the land, so that reduces the cost of your monthly cost, your monthly what's it called? It's late. I'm forgetting the words. You know what I mean. So you do this for the love of the game, BJC Live, TBH, EBN. Yeah, I do it for free. I do it because I think it's a way I can help Ben Storage stay alive. I don't make going on other people's streams. I don't make any money. I do it because I think they're cool dudes, and it's what I can do to help people who are ruined by Bricks and Minifix. Because again, I don't believe I can win in court even if I have all the evidence. I am a firm believer of somebody, and I don't have the public opinion behind me, right? So I'm a firm believer that if you're dishonest and you have money, you'll win in court. It doesn't matter what the other side has, because they're playing a different game. So if I can help in some way shed light on these stories, on these people that got screwed, I'm going to go tell my story. I have no skin in the game, but I feel like that is my duty as somebody who has been through it, and I consider myself a good person, and this is what I got to do. So yeah, I don't make money going on other people's streams. I just like them, and it's what I can do to give back. But yeah, every time you're on other streams, it's always just friends hanging out, discussing events. Yeah, but it's also like I hope it's also informative and entertaining, and it works. Yeah, expenses. That was the word I was looking for. That was the word. Wait, Sean, are you talking about I'd settle for a pinto? You want a nut? What's wrong with you? If I enjoy your content, keep it genuine, brother. Oh, thank you. I'll keep it genuine. Thank you for chatting with Llama and Buffy. That was a really cool surprise. Oh, they're awesome. I love them. They are so cool. Yeah, they were awesome. And Cody, what are you doing, man? Cody just got fired today. Me and Cody were on the phone the other day, so been talking to the wife. She's not on board yet, but today might have pushed her to the limit, bro. So yeah, just got fired. She might be more on board. So we'll give me another few days to talk to the wife. Good Lord. Oh man. Cody's a good dude, and he gave me some advice about what jobs I should take, where I should go apply for jobs. I know you don't want to get involved legally, even though I think you have grounds to stand on. I just enjoy hanging out with you, bro. Dude, thanks for being here, man. I've got it. Like, here's the thing. I keep saying this, and I know it kind of sucks. A lot of people are like, man, you've given up or whatever. It's not that I'm giving up. Okay, I tried twice. Like, I hear it. Look, tried twice getting a lawyer. Tried, and I know if anybody came in here right now, like Cody, we did talk about, being a good employee versus being an employee that's going to get fired, and being a good manager. Just like cliff notes. But I'll even read you guys some of the emails I gotten that I had back and forth with the lawyers, just for your own entertainment, because I know all of you care more about bricks and minifigs right now. But okay, so I'll try to leave the names. So okay, let's see. Here, let me start from the bottom. So this guy said, "Hi, my name. I just received the full results of the conflicts and check, and unfortunately, they're. Oh wait. Let's go right here. We've already been in contact for a good amount, and then I told him, I would like to know what your partner's thoughts of my situation, because we've already talked. Can you give me an update?" Okay, September 24th. And then September 25th, I agree to send another message to the partner that is over my section to remind him about this matter and about my earlier request to review your case. I'll keep on him until I get an answer, which will hopefully also accompany a time to set up a call between me, him, and you to discuss what you provided to us. My deepest apologies for taking so long. Best regards, his name. And then sends me a message. Would you have time on Monday, October 6th? October 6th, 2025, to have a discussion over the phone with me, the other guy's name, which is the section leader, the other guy's name, a litigator at the firm, to discuss your case. And I said, yes, I have a time at 11 a.m. And then they said, and then after that, that was October 3rd. Then October 15th, they still didn't message me, and I was like, I just want an update on what are your thoughts on this potential case, and what was the decision you guys made. And it said, hello, my deepest apologies. I do not check, because they weren't answering their business email, so I had to start messaging his personal email. Like, my deepest apologies. I do not check my personal email very often, and this one slipped through the cracks. I should have given you my work email, which I already had. As for your case, we have run a conflicts check within the firm. So this is already a few months they're doing the conflict check, and I think there may have been a conflict where an attorney here has or is representing bricks and minifigs. Let me talk with, and then says the name, here to see if there has been any decisions made. Again, my apologies. That was on November 7th. And I said thank you on November 7th. And then November 19th, any updates? November 24th is I just received the full results of the conflicts. Check. And unfortunately, there's a conflict that I have been told renders us unable to represent you in this matter. However, we know several great attorneys in the area and would be more than happy to provide you with some recommendations if that would be helpful. Best regards. And then I said, thank you, but now I'm completely broke. I can't afford an attorney anymore and I can't dedicate any more time. You guys were my only shot. Thank you for trying. And that's what I left it. That was months of work. And that was the second time going for a lawyer. And then Sean gifted 5 the last Relic memberships. My man, that's what is up. Thank you so much. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, so that was just it with the lawyers. Like that, it was like my last hope. But I still have all the evidence, and just in case they do come after me, to show how BS they are, which I'm holding very close to the chest. So if I can use it at all, I will. But it's more mainly to protect myself, not really to go after them. I don't. I somewhat moved on with trying to get any compensation. Right now, it's more retribution and making sure nobody else gets hurt. Into the early 90s, hush. Y'all, Gabe doesn't know about these things. What? You don't think Dude, I'm Brazilian. We were behind. So, whatever you know about the 70s, that's probably how I was living during the 90s. Yeah. Sean Games is drunk. Hey, Superman, pay attention. Pay attention to what, fool? To what? Hell yeah. Throw them down. They are deserved. New Sean Games, you are the newest member. Thank you. You do miss every shot you don't take. You do. So, like, yeah, that's like this. And this is how I kind of, I'm not reckless and I'm not negative. Because this is how I think. Okay. I might not live to see tomorrow, right? I could go on the street and get run over by a car. That could happen to my wife, to my kids, my parents, whatever. So it's important for me to be ambitious and just go after things, you know? Like, if I found a way to buy a Ferrari tomorrow, I'd do it, you know? Because I don't know if I'm going to die. Maybe I'll die freaking riding the Ferrari. And I'm not trying to, like, live on the edge or live life to the fullest type stuff. But it's more like, I'm not going to sit here and try to be like, oh, in, like, 30 years, I could have 200,000 in the bank account. Like, no. I'm going to try to have 200,000 by tomorrow. Like, that's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of knowledge I'm trying to seek. That's what I'm going to go after. I'm going to try to keep going forward. Can't live in the past, but I can't pretend like I'm going to live forever either. I think it's just a bad way of living, personally. Dude, IMS Gaming with a 5. Is this your first time here? Doing what is right is always a good thing, and thank you for your story. Here's a blessing. Keep doing the right thing. Yo, that's what's up. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. My wife really appreciates it. By the way, I'm dragging. Oh, I just got on my other account so I could send you a bless. Yo, my man. I saw the dragon, but I was like, oh, we got another dragon. Reckless Relic. The membership's full. I already saw it, dude. I can't just pause my stories. Yo, you are spitting. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah. And man, oh man, this past few years have been a ride, man. Guess what I called right after I what's it called? Right after I got fired, like hours later. I called Devin, one of my old Bricks and Minifix employees, and I did hang out with the other one the other day. I drove him around all day because he decided to like drink Jack Daniels and whatever red apple beer he had. I'm always somebody's designated driver because I don't drink. But it was a fun day, even though they were drunk the whole time. But yeah, like I called him and he was like, dude, what happened? And I just told him, and we had some fun chatting because he knows who my ex-boss was. And it's just, man, it's just funny. What? I think I lasted like 3 months, maybe not even that. It's crazy that I lasted this long. Like, I honestly couldn't take the incompetence that was happening. And A lot of good people work there. I liked a lot of people there, but yeah, they're not necessarily the culture that's there wasn't cultivated through honesty. There's a lot of change that needs to happen over there, but it was fun. It was a fun time. I just need to make sure I make money for the family, for the family. But yeah, like there is a stream I do on Sundays with Chris P, the Average Boys podcast. It is his show. He allows me to put it on my channel, so like the super chats that I go through there do go to my channel. But I also, man, I need to make some videos for him because I want to utilize and cut it into pieces to grow his channel. So if you guys ever get a chance, go check out the Average Boys podcast on YouTube. Subscribe there. He's awesome. And I do the show with him almost every Sunday, whatever Sunday's available. I think for like the whole month, the whole Reckless Ben thing was going on. He was training his fighters. And that's one thing we have in common. I'm not a fighter. I just enjoy training. He actually does train fighters. He was at like a UFC gym, he was at the John Jones gym, the coach of John Jones, and him and the coach of John Jones were helping a fighter or whatever. But yeah, the one thing that always blew my mind was people using your faith as an excuse, even though you're out there digging the dirt with the rest of us. Based Mormon is based. Thanks, man. I don't know if there's a difference between hiding behind the faith and then using your faith as an excuse, right? I don't think anybody was using the faith as an excuse. I think they were trying to shield themselves by using the faith, right? While I did MMA for many years, dude, how was it, man? Like, it's a hard life. It is people don't get it. Like, sparring could take you out for like a good amount of months of training. That's why I love jiu-jitsu, is because you could spar every day and not get hurt if you're sparring with the right partners, right? But yeah, do jiu-jitsu, people. If you guys want to lose weight, just be confident. Just relieve stress. It does that all together and in spades. You live it, though, is the thing. Props for that. Most of any faith do not. Dude, thank you. Yeah, that's one thing, like, I don't sell my integrity for nobody. I don't sell my soul for nobody, for nothing, for no amount. And one thing my parents taught me was don't ever base your testimony of God on people. You base it off the gospel and its structure, and that's it. Because people are flawed, and so they're always going to disappoint you, which is going to be fine. I remember I was like 14, 15. There was a camp out called the 50 Miler, right? And this was at the time that the Boy Scouts were really in it with the LDS Church really supported the Boy Scouts until they did the whole gay thing. And the LDS Church was like, nope, we're out. We're not doing that bullcrap. And then we were going to go on this 50 miler hike, which was like a week-long camp out. And then, no, this is not a rerun, Camila Rose XOX. This is the real deal. And then one of the, my young men's leader came up to me. He's like, it's probably best you don't go on the 50 mile because I think you'll hinder the spirit. For other freaking, I guess, young men that they would probably have left their faith. But that's what my parents taught me. Is just don't have your faith focused on people. Have it on God and the gospel. But yeah. But Camila, if this is your first time, we did talk a good amount about being a good employee and being a bad employee. And just because you're a bad employee doesn't mean you're actually bad. Just you're going to get fired. You're going to get fired by being a good employee, which makes you a bad employee. So yeah. And Thug Light, it's always good to see you, Thug Light. But welcome Camila Rose on the Kick side. If you guys don't see her in chat, she's on the Kick. I used to stream on Kick quite a bit, but so Kick had this program that if you stream there, you could get like $16 an hour. But then I guess I got in way too late because you couldn't make money anywhere. But I'm watching a video of the BAM situation that you're in, so I checked your YouTube links Oh, you're on Twitch too. I am not on Twitch. Which video did you watch? I'm in one of the Reckless Ben videos. Um, the I'm streaming on YouTube and Kick only, so the last Relic for both. But which video did you watch? Because I'm on I think 17 minutes in on Reckless Ben's response to the American Fork Police Department. And then the first time I ever told my story was on Echo Base Network. And then I went on Camelot. And then the Toy Bounty Hunters. And then I've been kind of everywhere. And Dream Sigils on YouTube gifted 5 the Ras Relic memberships. Thank you. Thank you so much. With Matt. I'm watching an interview you did with Matt. Who's Matt? You could join on Kick or YouTube. It's up to you. Wait a minute. Am I tripping? Did I do an interview with somebody named Matt? Somebody in the chat, let me know. I should just join the YouTube site. Sure. Join YouTube or... Matty Appleseed. Okay. Yes, I know you like Lego. Bam sucks. Would you consider starting your own chain? Here, okay. You're late to the game. Earlier on stream, Matty Appleseed's awesome, by the way. But earlier on stream, for a minute win. Oh, awesome, Ace Tone. Somebody did offer me a good amount of money to start my own Lego store again, to do my own. I turned it down, and then somebody kind of joked around about it. Again, I didn't turn it down, but I don't know how serious they were. Okay? Because that's the thing. Like, it's a lot of work. But now that I just got fired. What, 8 hours ago? It's... I don't know. I don't freaking know. Like, I may be inclined to do it if it's a good deal. If they could do the marketing and provide me the money and I handle everything inside the store, the training, the POS systems, all that, cool. But I need to feel very secure that it's going to happen. That's going to work. Because I'm not going to just open my own brand and then that's it. You know what I mean? Dream Sigils, did you gift again for another 5? You are awesome. You're awesome. And then Justice for Heroin Bird. he wants to know about the Heroin Bird. Another Lego company. Here's what I first... Okay, let me ask you guys if this is a good idea. When I first got screwed out of Bricks and Minifigs, right? And the lawyers were not... I couldn't no longer talk with the lawyers. Oh, shoot. Hold up. You guys tell me if this is a good idea. So oh crap, are you kidding me? Sorry guys. A little distracted here. Oh my gosh, this is annoying. Crap. No, that's not what I want to do. So what I wanted to do is go to the Lego company themselves. They don't do franchising. Yeah, Thug Light, I got fired today, so that was fun. It's the point of this stream. What's it called? I wanted to go to the Lego company and see if they were open to starting a franchising company under Lego themselves. And I would be the one running it, training it, designing it from the ground up. If you guys think that's a good idea to actually do that, try to get a meeting with them. Because one of the things that... Oh, Camila Rose, what's up? Bad bullies be bad. One of the things with... with me knowing Mandarin is that the how Lego produces their bags are in China in a warehouse in China, right? So I was in contact with somebody there, and I never got to like talk to any CEOs or whatever of Lego, but I was trying to see if we can get the same bags created just like Lego for bricks and minifigs. It ended up not working out, but this is like something I've thought about where what if Lego can create their own franchise, they would destroy bricks and minifigs. Bricks and minifigs would be done completely. If Lego creates their own franchise, and I would totally do that for Lego. I'll be like, hey, we operate almost exactly the same except for being pieces of garbage. And Sean Games Drunk gifted 1 Relic membership. That's what's up. So did Dream Sigils. Thank you. So that would be another way of, but not doing it for the sole purpose of trying to ruin bricks and minifigs. It's just be a nice side effect. So if I go to Lego and talk to the CEO and be like, hey, how about, because this is how greedy Lego is. People, like Lego says they don't care about the third party market or the aftermarket, but they're the ones that bought Bricklink and they only get a 3% profit from Bricklink, right? So if I could show them that they can make money opening up their own franchises where they can do trades and get used sets and get retired sets that Lego no longer makes, I think it's a really strong way to make another franchise company, but actually be under Lego. And if this is your first time here, no, Rose, you've been here before, right? Did you just change your profile pic? Yeah, I got fired, but it's all good. We're trying, bro. LOL. It's all good. Gotta support Ace Tone. Gotta support here too. Sorry to hear you got fired today, bro. Hey, at least you're not lurking. You actually in the chat today. It's cool. LOL. Sheldon Narcross sent me a membership. Sick. Sheldon's good peeps. Good peeps. All right. So Dream Sage was like, yeah, go to the meeting and check it out. All you gotta do is show up. What are you talking about? Like do a meeting? What Dream? Yeah, I would never joined if he didn't have kick. The universe tells me I should be here. You mean me? I think that's the worst thing about just going to the meeting and just seeing how it goes. Don't have to commit to it. What meeting are we talking about? Am I out of the loop here? Relic Bricks LLC. First time moved over from kick. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. No lurkers. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. And thanks for being over on Kick, too. Like, that's the other thing. If I get, like, membership... I don't know how Kick works. Apparently, if I get certain memberships, then I'm now monetized on Kick, and they'll push my channel. But, like, this is the first time I'm back on Kick. When I get my PC, which, unfortunately, I still haven't gotten. Well, like, I got it, but, like, today I didn't have time to go get it. So, my friend is, like, building it up or fixing it up or whatever. Because it came slightly damaged on shipping. And then it will be here. You guys will see it. It's going to be awesome. So I will get that. And then no more lag. Where I can actually dual stream much properly. And utilize Kick more. Because I wasn't able to utilize Kick for a while. Meeting with Lego for franchise. Yeah. So tell me about Kick. It's not $16. How much is it, by the way? I think it's 100 members to get monetized on Kick. Like, I think it's 100 member donations from what I heard. Yeah. But, yeah, tell me about Kick, Camila Rose. But, yeah, because honestly, I can make it on $16 an hour, 80 hours a week. That's doable. I'll be streaming all the time, making videos. It'd be, like, obviously, I just started. I don't expect to be a content creator full time. That's fine. I'm not living in a dream world, you know? Like, I know it's happened for some people, but I don't believe, like, I'm at that trajectory, right? But who knows? So I'm gonna do both, and I need I have a few interviews already lined up. I made so many phone calls right after uh, work right after I got fired. But yeah, like I already got a bunch of stuff lined up. Get monetized? No, 25 independent subs. It's about interaction. Apparently, also unique viewers. Like everybody tells me I should do more video game stuff because that was getting me traction. I'm at 50 members or subscribers, whatever Kick likes to call it, over on Kick. And then if I can get more, like, if I could get people donating, apparently you have to get actual donations, which is weird. Like, yeah, people actually, you have to get paid so that then you can get paid. It's super weird. Drop a Kick link right now. Dude, it's on my profile. Okay, here. I will drop a Kick link. YouTube. If you go... It's also on my description, by the way. But I forget, ain't nobody checks that stuff out. Sorry if there's lag. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Sorry, I have to, okay, yeah, that's right. Hand feed you. Holy crap, did I do something wrong? Okay, I guess this is the link. Why is this link like a million times? Like, what? What the freak? Okay, whatever. No way, yeah. Yeah, I usually on Kick, like I always stream games. I've done like 10-hour streams over there. What I hate about Kick is that they don't save your videos. Like on your own profile. It just goes away after like 5. That's Lego for a Lego franchise, but you need a lot of starting money. Not necessarily. It depends on what they want. Like, look, to start bricks and minifigs, it ain't that much money. You could have anywhere between $100,000 to $400,000. It's just more so that you can get. The more you have, the better off you are to start. That's it. It's very simple. So it depends on how much they want from you. Like McDonald's, they have a lot of rules to start, but you don't actually need a whole lot of money to start a McDonald's. You need like 2.5 million, and that's not a lot of money for how much McDonald's generates. But they want you to work there as an employee before you have a McDonald's franchise. For I think 2 years or something. They might have changed, but that used to be it. Your Kick link, sir. I put it on the freaking. Yeah, Sean Games Drunk Based. Yeah. What games you play? I play mainly Halo. Halo and Fallout. Fallout 4 specifically. I know this. Controversial. And whatever games people buy me. Like my employees were like, because I have a very obsessive personality, so that's why like I get really into details on a lot of things. So my employee actually bought me Fallout, one of my employees. Fallout 4. And then I just always loved Halo. I play Rocket League, Dragon Ball Z games, Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Z Fighters. There's other games I play. Oh, practically any old Star Wars games. Yeah. I'm trying to beat my record today. I started my shift at 1 p.m. and trying to make it till 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Dude, I tried to just do a shift. And now I don't even have the possibilities of shifts. So nice. Yeah, but mainly Halo. Dang, many games. Are you transferring to PC games? I don't know how that all works. Because I'm only going to have one monitor. From what I heard, you have to have 2. Yeah. Rocket League is awesome. Yeah, I'm only gonna have one monitor, and I was using an Xbox. I have a monitor right here, and then a laptop right here. Feel me? So that's the thing. I got my Starburst. But yeah. Oh, I do want to play some card games. Like I want to have those setups eventually. You know the ones like for like jet engines and whatnot, like the jet video game stuff. That's sick. And car games. That'd be sweet. Can I use only one more? See, that's the thing. I'm not very smart with technology. I suck. I suck hard. Like, really bad. But if somebody freaking teaches me, I can do it. I just don't know how well it's going to be. But it's going to be a lot of streams with lag. I'll tell you that. Actually, my internet's going to be good because it's going to be a PC. But I like controllers. I don't care for PC controls. We do have to play. Maybe I'll make that a members thing. Since you're a member now, Thug Light, it's gonna be Halo. Oh, Halo all the way. Favorite store is in Gouda. Play today, Lego store, and buy online. Buy also travel today. Here's the thing why I hate buying stuff online. Like for instance, my son, my oldest, lost his tooth. His third tooth that he lost this month. And he gets the $1 from the Tooth Fairy, right? I love taking him to a place and him picking it out physically and buying something. And that's why I don't like buying online, especially like toys and stuff and collectibles and Lego. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to have my own Lego store. And the other reason behind it was if I have my own Lego store, I could make it a hangout spot again. When I was a kid, there was always comic book shops where we could hang out, have fun, spend all day there if we didn't want to spend it at home. And then I realized when I was a teenager, when all these things started going away, there was no place for people to hang out. Just a place that people would go to hang out. Like I had the skate park, but there was snow and stuff like that. But yeah. I'm streaming on a MacBook. Unfortunately. So if it is laggy, it is my bad. I don't mean it to be, but it's just a reality. We're like Rust. Are you talking about the movie Rust? You have the Master Chief Collection? Hell yeah. I mean, a successful store brand like Whoppy Bricks. Is Whoppy the one that looks like a Bricks and minifix? Because, man, I wouldn't have gone with those colors. And this was before Bricks and minifix. I don't know if I emailed Whoppy Bricks. That's the other thing that I was thinking of doing. Is helping other store owners. Because I had a few contact me, come to my store when I had the store. And ask if I ever wanted to get out of franchising. And open a store with them or their second location. And there are some big names. And I told them no because I was loyal to Bricks and Minifigs. I know, stupid me. But, yeah, that was unfortunately what happened. And now that I'm sort of thinking about it, I don't know if I actually want to do it in terms of making a living off of it. I would love to have my own store where like I'm not worried about making a living. So I want to make my father financially successful because he's the most successful person I've ever met. He just has that bit that he needs to get. So if I can make him financially successful, then I'll go and do my own thing. But that's my first goal. Helping out my father and my mother. It's gonna happen. Are they willing to take you on again? Wait, what? Who take me on again? Would you even have the funds to be able to open another store right now? Are you guys seeing BAM right now? Well, I would have to have an investor, which I've had people offer me a good amount of money to open because they saw my numbers. But no, I would never do anything with BAM ever again. My friends that are going to open another one, they have the money to do it. But, yeah. And I don't have the money to sue. I'm not suing them. I believe, and I'll say this, I don't care how many times I have to say this, on the same stream, I don't believe in the legal system. I believe Ben, Crystal, and Ben Gorman have a chance of winning because They have the public on their side. But to me, it's still 50-50. Anybody who's dishonest with money will win. That's my belief. I'm not going to like nobody can convince me otherwise. Like the little guy's gonna get screwed. But right now, I don't think Crystal and Benjamin Gorman or Reckless Ben are the little guys. I think they could win, and I want them to win. They cannot take me on with them, no, because Bricks and Minifigs is valued at like what 300 million or whatever, and they have the strategies that, again, they don't play by the same rules. I'm gonna be honest, they're not. I'm already starting behind. Yeah. From what, if there's a civil suit, I could join, but I don't think Crystal and Benz is a civil or whatever the suit is called. I think they're doing a very specific thing, but I don't know. I am not a lawyer. Dream Sigils. Now on Kick. Nice. Yeah, if I were to open my own Lego store, it wouldn't be a franchise. It would be my own. I have the confidence. I don't have... I don't want to rely on that kind of business. It's a niche business, okay? Restaurants are more like an event. That's why I have a little more confidence with it. When it's niche, if there's a recession, it's not bulletproof. So, like, when I first looked for investors to actually buy the Bricks and Minifigs, they would all tell me, all the investors that I had were like, no, I want to invest in like grocery stores, real estate, which is bulletproof. When there's a recession, people need food. They don't need Lego. They don't need toys, right? And so I understand what I'm getting myself into. I understood how to grow Bricks and Minifigs, and it was growing. And I knew how to make it not bulletproof, but survive a recession. Unfortunately, I don't want to rely on that at all. Like, at freaking all. So if I open up a Lego store, I would want to have backups that would be able to supply the Lego store where I don't have to actually worry about hitting a certain number. Obviously, I would because it's still a business, but I can operate by just enjoyment purely because it's a lot of stress. Having a business that is can be completely destroyed during a recession. It's not recession proof. Those are really complicated business to keep building during a recession. It is very complicated. Well, Lego's what I understand. Other things, I either have to have a better team because you have to know your strengths. I could open a toy store, but I want to be anywhere near as good as just a regular Lego store because that's my strength, right? So I can't I can't just open something I don't know anything about. I understand the restaurant business. I understand to a degree. And that's why I said, like, I would go with my father because he has over 21 years in the restaurant world. And he's a commercial realtor. And he's opened up his own business, and it's still alive. He's actually opened up multiple. And when I say opened up, it doesn't mean he's rich at all. He's opened up. He does power washing, cleaning, and pavement restoration. And it allows him to pay his bills. And it's his own thing. So, but where his expertise is at the restaurants. Okay? You got to, when you open up a business, you got to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. You got to be very humble on that. No ego. And hire the people that know more than you about a certain area. You should understand an area, but you got to hire people that know more about you. More in that area than you do. So, with that being said, it's also about getting the right employees. Building that trust, which takes time. Building the store. You have to have the capital. You have to have an emergency fund. You have to make sure that if something goes wrong that you cannot predict, like hurricanes, um, robberies, just any natural disaster or any disaster. So you got like opening a business isn't just something that's like, oh, you want to be free, open up your own business. You should have a skill set behind you. When I hit 10K subs by buying a super gaming PC. So yeah, I am a variety gamer, so I play almost all games, but some games I get hooked on. But you can hit me up if you want to know more. Dude, message me on Instagram. I am S Gaming, Mr. Dragon. Hit me up on Instagram. I hate freaking X, so that's the best way to actually message me is Instagram. Is it only Lego or you want to do a company? Yeah, K&Q Visuals, that's exactly why design is my company's main umbrella and welding is my backup umbrella. Hell yeah. I think you have a lot of ideas. I'm glad you're talking about them to figure out what you would like to do. It's more of like, I don't care what I would like to do. What I would like to do is have money, drive cars, and hang out with my family. That's what I would like to do. I don't want to freaking work. I would like to create. I would like to write. What I love doing is writing stories. I love writing stories. I love building Lego. I love creating things, especially stories. Man, I would love to. If I could, I'd own Lucasfilm. That would be like number one goal, 100%. Fix Star Wars, kick Disney right in the balls, and show them what Star Wars was supposed to be. And fix the mistakes George Lucas did with Clone Wars, because he's not perfect, but we do love him. He created Star Wars. But yeah, I love writing stories. That's what I would love to do on my free time. Just write. Just draw, write, hang out with the family. But I have to... And this is a lot of people's mistake when they open up a business. They see that like this market is untapped. And that does work out. It does work out. But if you have no skills in that market, then you're not the person to tap into that market. You better find people that know how to tap into it and be a part of it, and that's how you'll make your money. But you have to know that time can't be wasted, and whatever, if you decide to be a janitor for 10 years, you need to find a way to utilize the skill of being a janitor to open up a business using those skills. You can't just keep jumping skill to skill. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn skills, but the highest probability of your success rate would be in what you've spent the last 10 years on, right? Like that's just statistically. I'm not saying like, freaking Jeff Bezos, he was trading stocks and then wanted to open a bookstore online and then created Amazon. I'm not saying you don't have any ideas, but I'm just saying if you really don't have any skills, you only have skills in this area, focus on those skills, bring those skills up, and then create a business around those skills. That's how you'll make sure it's alive. Seem like a much driven person. I am envious a bit of that. I wish I had more motivation. It's not about motivation. Sometimes, especially with me, you get kicked around so much that you can't allow anybody to rule your world anymore. That's what a boss is. A boss can determine when you're going to get fired. They can determine what your schedule is. They can determine your entire life. So at one point, you got to just make a decision. It's not about ambition. It's not about motivation. It's about making decisions. That's all business is. And you'd be surprised because like it doesn't feel any different when you own a business. Like the day you buy a business, it doesn't feel like anything's changed. You still woke up in the morning, you still did your routine, and then you just go to work like you would go regularly, but you have more responsibilities and you have to exercise your brain way more. And it doesn't feel like anything's changed. So if anybody wants to open up a business, obviously do your due diligence, study, find the right people, find the right partners, all that stuff. But all you have to do is just move forward. It's like that saying, like if you're just always sitting on the fence, you don't know which way to go, which side of the fence you should lean on. Just lean on one. It don't matter. Just pick one, because you'll find out quicker if you're on the wrong side of the fence. If a dog like, if you can hear a dog, if you're sitting on a fence and you can hear a dog, you don't know which direction it's coming from. I guarantee you, instead of wargaming, sitting there, as soon as you jump off the fence, you'll figure out where the dog is actually at. If it's on your side, because it's gonna start coming after you, or if it's on the other side, where it comes behind you and you just can't really hear anything now and just walk away. It's pretty damn easy it's not easy. It's simple. It's simple to choose a path. You just have to understand that you can't give up on that path. It's like one huge thing I've always had a problem with college students is they keep switching majors. It's like, oh, I didn't think it'd be like this. I'm not really passionate about it. Well, like, the process of earning something is never a passionate process. You know, it's great if you like the annoying little details of medical school or law school, but it's really about just picking that side and then sticking with it and learning it, utilizing it for a time, and then going out and try to save up as much money so that you could do something else. You know? How he did Clone Wars better? Yes, he did. 2003, 2004, Clone Wars was peak, and then it got dookied on by freaking Dave Filoni. Yeah, but being your own boss is hard. Hard work. Being your own boss it's much more time consuming, but it's a lot more freeing. And that's the other thing. Like, opening a business, like at my state right now, I got to think about the family and the kids. You know, how much time am I going to be away from them? So that's why I'd like stream at night. Like, this is what, 3 a.m. for me, and I'm about to call it a night. But Dream Sigils gifted 5 last Relic memberships. You the GOAT. You are a true Relic. You got true Relic status. You're awesome. Thanks everybody for being here. I know I just like ranted a little bit, but I got fired today. Needed to relax. Needed to get my wiggles out. Make some money. So I thank you, Dream Sigils, and everybody else who sent in super chats, who got memberships. So Dream Sigils, Sean Games Drunk, IMMS Gaming. Let's see who else. And Random Consumer. You guys are freaking awesome. You're keeping my lights on. These lights on right here. Keeping all these on. But yeah, I will be... Oh, it's okay. It's all right, man. It happens. Like, it's not really a job I enjoyed. I enjoyed that kind of job. Didn't enjoy working there. Yeah. But... yeah, like in the future, I will be talking more about games. I will be talking more about movies as a whole, writing, and oh my gosh, Dream Sigils. Sending in more gifted memberships. That's what's up. Let's try. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You gotta meet my wife. She's the best. And a new member, Ace Tone. Hell yeah, my man. What do you mean? What was it? Oh, my favorite Brazilian steakhouse. I was a meat server, and that's the steakhouse I want to open. So, pretty good stuff. Yeah, like it's. Trust me, I would say you could ask other people in terms of my work ethic. Probably the best one, and I was the one that was fired. But people make up lies, and then you can't control who believes those lies. Especially if they don't like you. But yeah, okay. So what's upcoming this week? Hopefully tomorrow I'll be on the Average Boys podcast. We'll talk nerd stuff, how Supergirl sucks, how James Gunn is a freaking loser, how Marvel is lost, how Sony is BS, Xbox might have some redemption, Halo right now is in the worst state it's ever been. We'll talk about those stuff. Oh, yeah. Fat and Dandelions. Yeah, so I got fired today as well. That's okay. Last time I was fired was when they shut down the Bricks and Minifix store. So last time I was really fired, I think, let's see, it was before my second was born. So around 5-6 years ago. Yeah, so... it's all good. Gamefire isn't. Oh no, Halo 2 F. Yeah, Halo Infinite is a freaking garbage game. It's terrible. It has no value to it. It's bullcrap. And GTA 6 is coming soon for $100. But yeah, so the Average Boys podcast is a great podcast. I love going on it. Sunday nights at 9 p.m. usually. Hopefully we'll have it on tomorrow, and then I'm probably gonna stream every day. I'll probably do some videos. So stay tuned on the YouTube side and on stream. I'll be kicking it on YouTube and Kick. So hopefully somehow I get monetized on Kick. Because if I could do that and YouTube, then do that. All I need is like 1,200 a freaking week after taxes. I know how to with 3 kids and a wife. I know how to manage that. I know how to be frugal. I ain't cheap. I'm frugal. I am strong. I will stay strong, Sean. That Supergirl sucked. I enjoyed the TV show in my teens. My sister loved the TV show until it got I guess woke. I didn't watch it when it got woke. Boob justice for heroin. Heroin bird. My bad. But yeah, guys. Anyways, if anybody needs to contact me for any reason, Mr. Dragon, IMMS Gaming, hit me up on Instagram. It is also in the description and whatever else. But all right, guys, you guys have a good night. I had fun chatting. I hope you guys have fun too. I'm chilling. Peace out. Love you guys. You guys keeping me sane, keeping me alive. Love all of you. Have a good night.